To anyone who thinks that me talking about my family is any kind of joke or sarcastic or anything like that, I just want to make one thing clear. Back in January, I had my knee scoped, and I had an old coworker give me a ride back from the operation, and I was fine. But last Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, last Thursday, I had to rely on my mom, and in doing so, after the operation, after being pulled out of the recovery room and everything else, after waking up from anesthesia and whatnot, the moment they said that they were going to call and have my mom come pick me up, let her know that I was done and ready to go and everything, I had a panic attack to the point where I couldn't breathe. It felt like I had a monkey sitting on my chest. For a good 20 minutes. It hurt to breathe. It hurt to move. Even though I was numb I was still partially numb from the anesthesia, and my arm was swollen and numb from the nerve block. It hurt to move. And the doctors say that someone's supposed to stay with you for the first 48 hours. Nope. I will always be lucky if my mom doesn't just stay for like the first 3 hours after I get done with an operation, unless I'm staying at her place, in which case I can't wait to get out of there. Because I've had other operations done that have gone sideways, because even though the doctor has said don't do anything, I'm still forced to do crap. I had a bilateral ulnar nerve transposition on both my elbows. The first one went fine. The second one, while I was healing from the second one, I had to vacuum. And I felt a snap in my elbow. And ever since then, my hand has been going numb again, just like it was before. But the surgery was supposedly a success, because all the imaging and nerve conduction studies show that it held. So yeah, you want to know how bad my life is. I'm never able to actually heal because of my family, because of them wanting me to do the most unrealistic things when I can't. Meanwhile, I try and I've tried to get them to help me with stuff. Simple things. And they refuse to. I don't understand how some people can sit there and say, "Oh, well, you gotta love your family. They're the only thing you have." No, no, no. I don't even have family. I don't have friends. I have no one. No one besides her. She's the only one I have. The only thing I can rely on. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. I can't rely on anyone. But it doesn't matter. Because everyone says I'm such a trooper and I'm a fighter and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Yeah, well, that may be. But my body is breaking down because of it. And yeah, this may be depressing and everything else like always. And every day I hope in a foolish way that things will get better. When they never will. Because if life has taught me anything, it's that my life is a running joke. That I'm not supposed to be able to relax or be happy or find comfort in anything I do. And again, maybe it's the lack of sleep. Maybe it's a compound effect of all the crap I've been through. I just don't understand why. Why I have to be the bigger person, why I have to be the stronger person. Why is it so much to ask to have someone come along and hold me and tell me it's okay to let go? To help me pick up the pieces when push comes to shove and I finally shatter. Is it too much to ask to have someone around to help me pick up those pieces so that I don't become a shell? A walking corpse, if you will. Because I know that if I ever let go, if I ever truly let go, the way people say that I should be able to, every ounce of humanity every single ounce will leave me. Because I've been holding it in and holding it onto it for so long. That there's a reason why on other platforms I say I'm Lucifer or I'm a hellspawn. Because if I were to let go, if I were to truly, truly show how damaged and broken I am, it would be hell on earth. And it's not just metaphorical. Because I know if I let go, without someone or something there told me, hold me down and essentially be my lightning rod, nothing would stop me. I mean, except maybe a lethal round, but you know. People often don't see or choose not to see the pain and suffering others are going through. Yet I've gone through so much in my life that it's the only thing I can see. I can't even go to the store without reading everyone like a book. I have to analyze everyone's facial expressions, everyone's body language, the way everyone and anyone holds themselves, how they walk, how they talk. You name it, I analyze it. As a means to both protect myself and understand but it's like I was saying before, I've been hit by 3 cars. Not once did my family take me to the hospital. I was shocked. 240 volts of electricity running through my body. They didn't take me to the hospital then either. The first time I had a rotator cuff surgery, it was 8 years ago, 9 years ago now. And it failed because I had to help. I was forced to do something that I was strictly told by the doctor not to do, and yet I was forced to help because either you do this or you're not grateful. The second time, just this last October, I was forced to go back to work. Not only to pay off my own bills, but to pay for crap that my family needed. Even though, yeah, I'm living away from them. I'm living freaking 20 miles away from them. Yet I still have to be the father figure. I can't call anyone. Anyone who I do call makes me feel like I'm freaking a burden, because that's how I was raised. I was raised to the standards of, if you're having to ask for help, then you're being a burden on others. Which is why I don't like asking for help. Which is why, despite my failing health, despite my mental health being in the absolute slums, despite me not having a pair of shoes that I can even wear, despite all my clothes having holes in them, despite me having enough debt to rival a college student, even though I've never gone to college. The only time I've asked for help is for Madison. Would it be nice if her hips were fixed? Yeah. But I know as soon as her hips were fixed, then I'd feel worse than I do now. Because I wouldn't be able to take her on the long walks that I know she loves. Oh, I can barely get to my own appointments without my knees and my ankles, due to the arthritis, setting themselves on practically on fire in pain. Tired of going to bed every night, wishing it's the last night, and waking up every morning thinking what's gonna go wrong today. Not will something go wrong, it's what will. Because that's just my life. People always say, turn to God. Read the good book. Pray. Do all that you can, and God will help pick up the slack. I've been doing that. For as long as I can remember, I've been doing everything. Yet it doesn't seem to be changing. My luck doesn't seem to be improving any. In fact, it keeps getting worse. I mean, it's just like if I have to go in and have to have something done with my heart, I'd rather stay in the hospital for 48 hours than deal with my family. Hell, I'd rather go to a graveyard and sleep on one of the tombstones than deal with my family. But yeah, that's how my family is. Meanwhile, my oldest sister, her older sister, gets hit by a car when she was 7, and my mom rushed her to the hospital. Just one. She was rushed to the hospital. My brother rolls a car because he was going too fast and he hit gravel. Rushed to the hospital. Me? I get hit by 2 cars. Nothing. No hospital trip, no ambulance, no nothing. I fall off a bike. I bust my arms. The only reason they took me to the hospital is because someone else brought me to the house and told them to take me in. I busted my wrist open on some sheet metal, clear to the bone. They couldn't ignore that, so they had to take me in. The 3rd time I got hit by a car, I knew they wouldn't do anything, so I just stood up, got back on my bike, and just kept going. Six months later, I get 6 months or a year or so, I can't remember at this point. I get zapped by faulty electrical system. In a house we were renting. And the only thing I could do was sit there and scream in my head, because if I screamed out loud, everyone would tell me to shut up and stop overreacting. It's not that bad. Didn't take me to the hospital. I had a blood clot when we were moving one time, and I shrugged it off as a muscle cramp, because I didn't have the time to be going to the hospital because we were too focused on moving. Again. Second time I got a blood clot, I had to walk myself into the ER to get it checked. My family wouldn't do it, wouldn't drive me in. I had to walk myself over 1.5 miles to the hospital from where we were living, because my family wouldn't. You want to know how bad my family is? That's how bad. I don't feel safe around them. I mean, hell, the simple idea of them coming to visit me sends me into a tailspin of everything has to be perfect in my own place of living. Otherwise, they'd bitch about it. It's whatever. No one cares anyways. I could talk till I'm blue in the face about how bad my family is, and it wouldn't do any good. I've said it time and time again, I'm tired. And no, it's not just because of the bags under my eyes, I am mentally, physically, and spiritually exhausted from every day having to fight, of every day thinking and knowing something's gonna go wrong, despite everything I do to make sure nothing goes wrong. It always does. I'm trying to keep my head up. I'm trying to stay positive. But if life has taught me anything in these last 18 years, or no, it's been about, yeah, these last 18 years. Is that my life will never get better. It's always destined to get worse, never better. But yeah.